What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to From The Bench Vols. I'm your host, Will Meadows, and welcome to our Thursday edition of the show where we have a lot of Tennessee football to talk about today. We know what is coming up this weekend, the best annual rivalry that Tennessee plays in my opinion. It's the third Saturday in October. It's Tennessee versus Alabama. It's prime time at Bryant-Denny Stadium. It doesn't get better than this. We're going to preview this game, talk about what Tennessee needs to do and able to get this win, who's out, who's not going to play, some big names, obviously Jermon McCoy being one of those. We're going to talk about it all today, but before we get into any of it, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, share it, all of that good stuff. Make sure you guys are following our socials. Again, all that good stuff, all of it is greatly appreciated, but I appreciate you guys for joining me on this Thursday or Friday, whenever you are listening to it, maybe even a Saturday morning before the game starts. We've got a lot to talk about today, man. It is Tennessee versus Alabama. We're going to give our prediction at the end of this episode. But first, we got to talk about who's playing and who's not. Just like I said, man, Jermon McCoy being at the top of that list. It's not pretty for the Vols, the first injury report. Jermon McCoy is out. Ricky Gibson is out. Travis Smith is out. Rodarius Jackson is out. Ethan Davis is questionable. And Deshaun Bishop is probable. We knew that kind of earlier in the week. Josh Heupel said that he figured Deshaun Bishop would be ready to go. Jermon McCoy and Ricky Gibson, man, it's getting less and less likely. I don't think Ricky Gibson's going to play at all this season. And the farther we get down the year, I just find it hard to believe that a guy who is a consensus first-round pick in Jermon McCoy is going to play this late in the year. When you can just heal up and not risk the rest of your football career, because again, he is a first-round pick in this year's NFL draft, maybe the first DB taken off the board. It sucks to see it, man. Alabama's got a key name that may not be playing in this game. Their star running back, Jam Miller, got banged up against Missouri last week, really got knocked out. I don't know if anybody saw that. It was a scary hit, a scary play. In general, prayers to him, hope he is okay. I'm not wishing injury on anybody. I'm going to put that out there right now. I wouldn't be horribly sad if he didn't play in this game. Just putting it out there. I'm praying for him. I hope that he's okay. I hope that he comes back from this game and he's 100%. But on Sunday, I wouldn't mind not seeing him on the field this Saturday, because Tennessee's defense is going to need all the help they can get. You know what I mean? Everybody that's been the talk of the week after Arkansas kind of just went up and down the field with us this past Saturday, Tennessee's defense is going to need all the help that they can get, and the Alabama receivers had something to say about it this past week, calling it the Field of Dreams. Jeremy Bernard, Alabama's best wide receiver this year, the transfer from Washington a couple years ago, followed Kalen Debtor over here, had this to say: "It's a great opportunity for our offense," said Bernard on the Next Round podcast. He said, "They give you a lot of yards. For us to have an opportunity to go against them in man-to-man, it's a field of dreams." Now, that's crazy. Me personally, I'm not taking that if I'm a Division I DB like Colton Hood and Ty Redmond. But they might just have to take it, because I've said time and time again on this show that Alabama, in my opinion, has the best receiving core in the country. It's up there with, I think Tennessee's is up there, don't get me wrong, but USC's is unreal. Ohio State arguably has the two best receivers in the country on one team. Alabama's is really good. Ours is really good. Texas A&M's is very solid. So there's a lot up there. There's no doubt about it that Alabama's is up there. Like I said, Jeremy Bernard, one of the best receivers in the SEC, if not the best, in my opinion. Him, Brazel, and Mario Craver are kind of all up there, in my opinion. Even Kevin Coleman from Missouri, all those guys are really, really good. But Jeremy Bernard, no doubt, one of the best in the SEC. We know what Ryan Williams can be. I know he struggled with drops this year, this, that, and the other. There's a reason we shadowed him last year and followed him all over the field with a guy that's not playing in Jermon McCoy. Ryan Williams is still electric. Isaiah Horton, the transfer from Miami, they're just littered all over this. Excuse me, I really apologize for that. It is littered all over this Alabama wide receiver core. Excuse me, I'm just stumbling my words today, coughing all over the place. I really apologize. But Alabama's offense is ridiculous. And not to mention, I didn't even mention the Heisman frontrunner leading the charge. Ty Simpson, the Tennessee native, grew up a Tennessee fan, is playing at a Heisman level this year. He is the front runner for the Heisman right now. Him and Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback at Indiana. Ty Simpson, 1,678 yards, 16 touchdowns, an interception. One interception. That's it. He's not putting the ball in harm's way. And that's what Tennessee's defense likes to do, man. They're not going to stop the run. They're not going to stop you on third down. But they'll force some takeaways. He's only given the ball up once this year from Martin, Tennessee, out in West Tennessee. Ty Simpson has been nothing short of incredible this year. And Tennessee's going to have to find a way to stop him. And I was talking with a buddy today at dinner. Luke Cannon, if you're watching this, I appreciate you. But we talked at dinner today over at Chick-fil-A at the Rocky Top Dining Hall. Here on UT's campus, and we're talking about Tennessee's defense, what they're going to have to do in order to win this game. Luke knows a good bit about Tennessee football. I'll give him that. And we were just talking about, we can't stop the run, what we struggled with, this, that, and the other. And we were talking about how Mike Washington, Arkansas's running back, just ran for almost 200 yards against us, kind of ran it all over us. And he's not a 200-yard running back type of player. No diss to Mike Washington. Again, he did his thing against us. Obviously, we came out with the win, but he played very well against us. We're letting these running backs run all over us. And that, I know, elephant in the room, I'm breaking news here. We all know that running backs are running all over us. And that's no doubt a problem. If we let Alabama come out here and run the ball on first down for 5 or 6 yards a carry, Tennessee won't stand a chance in this game. But then, you look at the box score, not the box score, just the stats in general. Tennessee leads the turnover and takeaways. They lead the country in takeaways. They lead the country in sacks. They're like first in the SEC in TFLs. All these things, man. And you look at it and you're like, how was this team that bad at defense? I don't know. It's really weird. I know we talked about that on Monday. It's just an odd thing. They are going to make plays throughout the game, but they don't like to show up for 75% of the game, which is not always a recipe for success. When you're about halfway through the season like we are right now, I kind of feel like you know who you are as a team. And Tennessee's defense is a team that they're not going to be able to stop the run all that well. I think you can start to get better. You can get better at all this, but get better at getting off the field on third down. That's a lot of a scheme thing Tim Banks is going to have to adjust to, and I fully believe that he can do that. But you know who you are, and this team's going to generate some takeaways, and the offense is going to have to capitalize that this game. So I was saying, against Alabama, if we can just get off the field on third and long, then Tennessee can be in a good spot in this game. I say that's a big if because Tennessee has not gotten off the field well on third down this year, especially in third and long situations, which is where you think teams should, be pretty consistent, is getting off the field on 3rd and 7 and more than that. You've got to be able to get off the field. If Tennessee can, if they're going to allow a 5-yard run on first down, but they can get a sack, I know obviously this isn't going to happen every possession, but this team's going to get after Ty Simpson, no doubt about it. If they can get a sack and make that thing 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, even 3rd and 10, get the heck off the field. Tim Banks, call the right play. I would still generate some pressure. Make Ty Simpson. Don't give him the time to sit back there and scan the field and find an open receiver all game. I think you have to blitz Ty Simpson quite a bit. Because I'll tell you this right now, again, this is no gash or a diss on any Tennessee defensive back because Colton Hood has been great and Ty is doing the best that he can. I know that sounds bad. Ty Redmond in 2 to 3 years might just be the best defensive back in the SEC. Like, no doubt about it. But he's been thrown into the fire as a true freshman, a guy who barely thought that he was going to play this year. But Jermon McCoy's hurt. Boo Carter, I know he's not really playing outside corner, but Boo Carter had some struggles through the beginning of the year just with the locker room. We all know that stuff. Ricky Gibson gets hurt in the first game. Like, Ty Redmond is playing the hand that he's been dealt right now. I think you have to blitz Ty Simpson, make him get that ball out quick, and generate some pressure and don't let him sit in there in the pocket. Ty Simpson is a capable runner. I'm not saying that, he's a statue in the pocket, but he's going to beat you with his arm, and what Ty Simpson does better than anybody in the country is throw across the middle of the field. So your defense has to be ready for that. I'm sure Tim Banks, that's not breaking news. Ty Simpson has been incredible across the middle of the field this year. You have to generate pressure and not have to rely on those DBs and those safeties being on an island for so long. You know what I mean? Don't let them have to cover Isaiah Horton and Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams for 4 to 5 seconds. You've got to get at Ty Simpson, make him uncomfortable. We'll see. Anything on the road with Tennessee is up in the air. That's just how it's been in the Josh Heupel era. Just kind of the nature of the beast. Now, I say all of that about, Alabama's offense. I say all these things that Tennessee needs to do this, that, and the other to be able to win this game, and it probably sounds like it's not going to happen. But Tennessee has the best offense in the SEC and probably the best offense in the country right now, at least numbers-wise, that they do. They have a very solid run game, especially if Deshaun Bishop plays. Their offensive line has been great. And Tennessee has 3 receivers that are in the top 7 in the SEC in receiving yards, and Chris Brazzell being 2nd, Braylon Staley being 4th, and Mike Matthews being 7th. That's unheard of for a team that we talked about on our first episode this week on Monday. What did we learn from this Arkansas game? We knew that these receivers were legit, but I shed a lot of light on the fact that, yes, we were up in arms about our quarterback situation this offseason, but more than anything, we were worried we weren't going to have anybody to catch the ball. And our receivers have been nothing short of incredible this year for us. Obviously, a few issues here and there, dropping the ball, but they have every case to be made for having the best receiving room in the SEC and in the country. Tennessee's offense is good enough to keep them in any game this year. That's just because it's like when Hendon Hooker was here. I'm not saying this offense is Hendon Hooker level good, but Hendon Hooker's defense was not very good. Byron Young was pretty dang good. Kamal Hadden was solid. He was getting to be solid. He was way better his year with Joe Milton. There was some talent littered across that defense. Jeremy Banks was a solid linebacker. Arion Carter's way better than Jeremy Banks. But there wasn't a star-studded defense like we've had the last 2 years with Josh Heupel. But you could rely that they were going to put up 50 points a game. And Tennessee's averaging short of 50 points a game right now. That's how good this offense is. So, again, I know I probably sound like a broken record saying what Tennessee has to do this, that, and the other to win, have a chance to win this game. But if Tennessee plays their brand of football on the offensive end, they're going to be in a spot to win this game by the end of the second half. Now, I will say this. Josh Heupel, if you are listening, please listen. I know I'm an 18-year-old who played 1 season of competitive tackle football in his life, but I'd like to think I know a little bit about football. I don't know near as much as you, sir. If we are up in the first half, going into halftime, going into the second half, if the Tennessee Volunteers have a lead, do not tuck your tail. Come out on the first play of the second half and run a play-action deep post down the middle of the field and throw the sucker whether it's open or not. Not actually, but I'm telling you, man, and I know Tennessee fans all over the place can relate to this. When we go up on the road or in general, we like to tuck our tails and just throw screen passes and run it up the middle. Play your brand of football for 60 minutes. It doesn't matter if you are up 30. Don't run that sucker every down. Keep throwing it and throwing it and throwing it and play your brand of football that scores 50 points a game and lets Joey Aguilar lead the SEC in passing yards. Ty Simpson's great. I just talked about it. He is the front runner for the Heisman. Joey Aguilar is the only person who's thrown for more yards than him. Joey Aguilar's thrown the same amount of touchdowns as him, or accounted for the same amount of touchdowns as him, excuse me. Let the man make the plays and don't get conservative with your play calling. Play your brand of football that got you to that point if you are winning that game. I think Tennessee's going to win this football game. I'm not going to, I'll be honest with you. I have picked Tennessee, since this podcast started, it's been a little over a year now, I have picked Tennessee to win every game but one. Do you know what the one that I didn't pick? It was Alabama last year. It was this game right here. I will not make that mistake again. I'm pretty non-biased on this podcast here. I just told you that Alabama has the best receiving core and maybe the best quarterback in the country. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it, but I'm going to pick Tennessee to win this football game because I'm not going to blatantly, with the voice that I have and me looking into this camera, I refuse to say that I think Alabama's going to win this game. No matter what I may truly feel, this, that, and the other, Tennessee's going to win this game. I'm getting you to drink the Kool-Aid right now. You and whoever else is watching this video, you're going to drink the Kool-Aid with me. Tennessee's going to go to Tuscaloosa. Josh Heupel's going to get the monkey off of his back that he can't win a big game on the road, as he hasn't yet this year. We've gone to Florida and lost. We've gone to Alabama and messed down our legs, just like we did 2 years ago when we were winning at halftime and Joe Milton played the best football he had ever played through one half of football, and we forgot how to call plays. And we're going to win this football game. I think this is going to be a shootout because, again, I don't have a lot of faith that Tennessee is going to be able to stop Alabama's high-powered offense. I think they have the best offense in the country. But I think Tennessee has one of the best offenses in the country. I meant to say I think Tennessee has the best offense in the country, but Alabama also has one of the best offenses in the country. I don't believe that Tennessee is going to be able to stop it. But I don't think that they're going to be able to stop us. And that's what I like to see. I think it's going to be a shootout. I'm going to get my money's worth because I'm going to be in those stands with an orange polo on, cheering on the Vols, making Alabama fans mad. And if you're a Tennessee fan going to the game, you should do the exact same thing. And we're going to win. We're going to light our cigars. And the third Saturday in October will be a Volunteers win for the third time in the last 4 years. The score of said game is going to be 41-38, and Tennessee is going to win by 3 points. Absolute cinema. And that's all there is to it, man. You can say all you want about Tennessee's defense not being up to par. You can say all you want about how good Alabama's offense has been. But that's why you spot the ball. That's why you lace up your cleats and you go play the daggum game. Josh Heupel's got to win one, man. James Franklin couldn't win a big game to save his life, but he upset Ohio State one year. That's probably not a good example, given the fact that James Franklin just got fired. And it's not a Josh Heupel deal. That was a horrible connection there. Just forget I said that. I might edit that out, and I don't really edit stuff out. That was a bad one. Don't listen to that. But Josh Heupel is going to go on the road and win this football game. Joey Aguilar is going to come back home to Knoxville. A legend. The Vols are going to be a top 10 team in the country. Going to Kentucky next week. And there you have it. What else is there to say? Again, I do think it's going to be a good game. That was my drink the Kool-Aid prediction. So take that with a grain of salt. But I refuse to give you anything else because I'm going to pick the Tennessee Volunteers to win because that's the only game I didn't, and I regret it. I say all that to say, go Vols. I appreciate you guys for joining me on this episode of From the Bench. It's going to be a great game. If you are going to the game, be safe. Have a good weekend. I'm going to the game. It's my first ever away game. I've been to like 5 years in a row of home games. And I have never been to an away game. I've been to 2 neutral site games, so I'm very excited for that. If you are going, once again, be safe, be smart, all of that good stuff. Let's make it home in one piece. We can make Alabama fans mad, but don't make them fighting mad. And yeah, let's go win a dadgum football game this weekend. I appreciate you guys for tuning in on this episode of From the Bench. When I talk to you next Monday, Tennessee is going to be a top 10 team in the country. Go Vols.